So, hello everyone. So today I will be explaining about my journey of drumming for the past 10 years. Uh, so this will be the first part of the 10 years of drumming, and I was very sorry we could not record the event because of some technical issues and them telling that we have to pay for it. And with businesses opening, they have not made things free. So with that, let me start sharing the screen. So I'll share my sound also. So I will start my presentation. So my drumming journey. Uh, yeah. So what I will be doing is, rather than my drumming journey, let me tell of my music journey. Uh, and before we start, let me take a pledge as a coordinator of the West Pune Music Club to ban single-use plastic, as the Ministry of Environment and the Indian government has banned such plastics with effect from 1st of July 2022. So yeah, let's take a pledge as well, and any use of them will lead in a penalty and fines. So with that, I will let you know where it started, where my music started. So basically, the first evidence of myself showing interest in music was when I was in kindergarten, like around the age of 4 years, with me playing piano. And then slowly, when I started joining Vidya Valley School in class 1, then I showed some interest towards Western music in both piano and singing. And that's where I got a chance to participate in this category for annual gathering. And then it continued till class 2 also, and then we had Indian music also in class 2, and then in class 3 had interest towards dance in the form of any form of dance. And then the piano playing also continued that time. But then let's go to the next years as well. So when I was in 4th standard, the singing part of Western music unfortunately came to an abrupt end because I had understanding issues with the new Western music teacher. He was very strict and he was not at all supportive, and he would like beat people up, those were late or those who would not bring their Western music book. And so I switched over to Indian music and both singing and piano. So Vidya Valley helped us in getting a home tutor for Indian music, and yeah, in my room there was a piano. And then this trend of Indian music singing and playing piano continued till class 7. And then I switched over completely to drumming in class 7. And then, yeah, in class 8, it was a complete switch over. And then in academic 4, in the class 4th, so there was a counselor. So Mrs. Vidya Chikte ma'am, she had started art-based therapy sessions, and that's where I could start and think of my idea of drumming. In fact, she also recognized my talent, and then I continued further on and on. And then later in this part, I will also be telling why I chose drumming over dance and other forms of music. And also had an opportunity to make a comeback in Western music in class 7 because he knew my voice was going good and I had made full of use of it, and I had got opportunities to participate in those Western choirs and singing. But it could not last for long. There were logistical issues in conducting the classes for class 8 and above because the teacher didn't want students to be late, especially the prefects. And while the principal says, no, the prefects ain't late because of the duties that they have to do and all. So because of this tussle, we could not have continued for long. And then one thing I would like to say is where I participated. So firstly, in kindergarten, I participate in the fancy dress or ramp walk. Either I would disguise like an egg or India's premier batsman and somehow part-time bowler Sachin Tendulkar in a ramp walk or a fancy dress competition. And then in class 1, as I said, Western music, Indian music in class 2. And the annual gatherings till class 1 were held in Bal Gandharva Auditorium. It is on Jangli Maharaj Road. You all must be aware of it. And then after in class 2 and class 3, it was on the old stage of Vidya Valley. And it was right behind the principal's office. And beside it, there used to be a power backup in the form of a generator. So that's where it used to be held. And in third, I got an opportunity to do skating dance. Then in fourth standard, the new audio amphitheater was built, and yeah, I got a chance to do something epic. It was Marathi play, and themed on Ganesh Chaturthi. I had got a chance to lead in the procession and do all those chants. And then in fifth standard, this was a dance. There was a form of dance called holy dance, where I was asked to throw those petals on the females dancing. Then in sixth, I could not dance given how hard it was. We did a trial, but it was in vain. And then in class 7, I did a puppet dance in the Rajasthani format, and it was based on the Shah Rukh Khan movie Paheli. Yeah. And in 8th standard, I could not also repeat given how hard dance was, and it was recitation. So I was very gutted to do that, but I had to do it. And in class 9 and 10th, dance was nonetheless mandatory. So yeah, it was a good opportunity, but although I could not get much, and yeah, so that's where. And I would also be explaining later why not dance, although it has got similarity to do with drumming. So let's start. Before we start the journey of drumming, these are the pictures. So this is class 6 coming in those traditional wear and singing Ganesh Vandana, the Shankar Mahadevan song. Yeah, you all know what this is, and yeah, hopefully some of you have also sung, and we'll look forward to sing it someday on this memorable occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi. It's coming in August, I think. Yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead. This is 7th standard Rajasthani. So I was made to ride a horse, although I could not do the complete dance, but still doing a horse also is something interesting, which is a part of puppet shows. You've all seen it, right? Yeah. So the next thing I'll be doing is, this is the 9th. A very typical Bollywood fusion, but a very interesting combination also, so that to make it look interesting. And then in 10th, this was the wonderful. So if you see this song, if you have heard, this is Parda Parda from Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. In this, I'm doing the R.D. Burman role where he says, Monica, oh my darling. So this was the grand entry. So despite it being an all women's performance, but I was very happy to know that this is a very grand role, because it gives you the feeling of that R.D. Burman effect here. Yeah. Even though he's no more, I think it was pre-recorded in the song. So yeah, that was how it happened. Now coming to my drumming journey, and I will also be talking about where it started. So it started at Vidya Valley, as was said. And the reason for the choice was, there were multiple performing arts, and I was not confident to do dance and play tabla or do fine arts. And fine arts, I was too much dependent in my class 6, so it had to be resulting in low scores. And one more thing I would like to mention is about why not dance, because already there is a member in the family, so that is my mom's sister. So that's Mrs. Nandini Shanbhag, who is dancing for a very, very long time. And you all know that dancing to make dance perfect, it can take even years. So for Bharatnatyam, it takes even 8 years. And I know many people who learn Bharatnatyam, and we see the hard work, the pain, and many struggles that they encounter. And also the choice was based on arts-based therapy. So basically, before the art-based therapy session would start, they would conduct a prayer. And then what happened is, I would not go with the flow, like sing with the flow rather. So we thought, let's start with drums. So I told Vidya ma'am that let's start drumming, djembe. Let's use a djembe and see how it works. And it worked so well. And then that's where Vidya ma'am found a wonderful talent, that there is something hidden in that. Okay. Then in 13, there was a concert debut, February 2013. Yeah, in my 7th standard, there was a concert debut, and it was Everything I Do. So yeah, so that was a wonderful song debut I did, and they called it Musical Night. Then in class 8, again, it's the same scenario as class 7. So that was also yet another wonderful night to remember. And then this is the band I'm talking of. So it is led by Mr. Vineet Alurkar sir. So if you can see, he's in the middle, the third from the left, and this is Bhupal sir. So this band is yoga called Yoga Logic, and basically we are it's not purely Indian. There are a group of Austrian players as well. So these all are Austrians. Here he's also an Austrian, and the only female standing here, just next to me here, is my principal, Mrs. Nalini Sengupta ma'am. So who's been running the school for long, almost more than 2 decades. So yeah, and these are the other players, performers who are playing. Then in class 9, everything was going fine till some sudden injury happened. So on 2nd June, it reminded me of Pat Cummins. So Pat Cummins mentions about his injuries that he suffers when he was a teenager in his career. So I also suffered, just like him, I also suffered injuries in the career like this. But this was the most severe of all injuries. So this is I don't know what grade of fracture it is. It may be a grade 2 or a grade 3 fracture. So it was a very severe fracture, and it was more of a dislocation. So I dislocated my humerus trying to climb on the monkey bars, and then inspired by Rohit Shetty's Khatron Ke Khiladi. Then, yeah, this is what happened. And because of this, some changes had to be made, and we had to follow doctor's advice as well, because any mistake can undo the repair. So which means I could not use my left hand for drumming unless they are fingers, because fingers will not exert pressure, because otherwise it will exert pressure on this and it will break yet again, especially when you are under a rod. That means you could play djembe and conga effectively, and compared to a drum set. And with a drum set, you can use only the right hand to play. So if you see in the next pictures, see, djembe is played effectively, both fingers are used. But here, only one finger is used, one hand is used. So as you can see, the other hand is at rest, the second hand is played. And when I played the drums, there was already someone who is supporting me, who is playing the supporting role. So I think that was Mr. Devanshu Agarwal. So yeah, he was playing the supporting role so that it would go with the flow. And then if you can see again, here also one-handed. And in class 10, I decided to continue with drumming, and there were no classes in school. So that because in 10th standard, you had board exams and all. So they didn't want the academic pressure to build up. But still, I wanted to have interest, the will, and the audacity to continue drums. And so we found Zubin sir's number. So Zubin sir is my drum teacher, and we had to go for his drum coaching in Baner. That is in Deron Heights, the 4th floor, opposite Hotel Mahabaleshwar, and it was in vibrant learning spaces. And I had taken no part in any concert because I had suffered a lot of academic stress. My scores were not going up to the mark. And then I thought I really need to focus, and especially English, my scores were going below 50%. And then, yeah, so that's where I could not take a part. And yeah, so, but still I had attended it, thanks to Vidya ma'am yet again. And I attended a concert there to get an idea of the venue. This was Classic Rock Coffee Company in Kalyani Nagar. It is a very far suburb in Pune, just near the airport, a few minutes drive from the airport. So yeah. Now coming to class 11 and 12. So these were the first time I would play a concert outside Vidya Valley School. So that is Classic Rock Coffee Company. And then I also played the first Hindi song as well. That is Pichle Saat Dinon Mein, the Farhan Akhtar song in Rock On, the first edition of Rock On. And then I also managed to get a chance to drum in Orchid School in class 11. It was not a drum set though. It was, I think, a djembe. And during class 12 farewell that we had to organize. Now, if you see, this is Classic Rock Coffee Company. So the lighting and all is very beautiful when you come in the evening. But in my first year, we had to do it in the morning as it was not available in the evening. So and then this is a nice circle. You can take a picture of it before you perform, and yeah, a picture with so many guitars, a circle of guitars and other stringed instruments. And on the stage, as you can see, there is here So this is Farooq Bulsara. Sometimes people also call him Freddie Mercury, one of the most gifted singers of this generation. But I don't think he's anymore here. Yeah. So that's how the setup was. Now coming to ICER. So before joining ICER, I took a few drum classes during a teaching internship at Vidya Valley. Again, thanks to Vidya ma'am, where I started my drumming. And it could not be for much classes because Zubinza already had given me a comprehensive explanation. So yeah. And although ICER Pune has a drum set, I could not get an opportunity to use because of my unavailability and lack of confidence to perform. So they were auditions. I didn't want to take too much of that risk here. But still, whatever opportunities I could get, I could get. So one was Freshers Drama. So what I will do is I will send the video in the description, the Freshers Drama. I'll try and put the Freshers Drama video in the description below, and the 2020 Republic Day as well. And I could perform in a very special moment of Republic Day. And that was the flag hoisting and the parade. And before that started, the institute director, Mr. Jayant Udgaonkar, he caught me up for a chat and he told me if I'm drumming and then doing all this stuff. Then, as usual, the regular drum classes went smooth until the pandemic started. And then the we started the West Pune Music Club as well and the magazine as well. And that's because I lost the chance to lead an ICER Pune club. And yeah, and I was very disgusted to not do so. But it's all right, even if I came to lead WPMC club. Yeah. So this is the 2020 concert, the one just before the pandemic started. So this is on the left where there is the mic there. This is where Vineet sir would stand, but this time he would not play the anchoring role. The guy who would play the piano, that's Manasvi Baheti, who was also an alumni of Vidya Valley School. So she would lead the singing basically, and together she would also play the keyboard. So that's worth an anchoring role. And then I would be sitting here on the drums, and those who are playing djembe on this side. So basically, apart from playing, I have to also compare and host the show, and then decide who's good, and then tell who's coming first and who's coming next to play and perform. So this was a studio format. Now coming to the pandemic times, where the tough times actually began. And you all know that lockdown came into effect, and then I had no opportunity to perform. And then as time progressed, I was advised to buy a practice pad, and with that, I was able to start online performances. And then there was a djembe we bought from Mauritius, and we started it from 22nd of July 2020. And then we are all aware how strict the lockdown was and how the restrictions were, roads blocked by the police, and yeah, we could know where we could go out only for except for essential services. And then we were advised to buy a digital drum set, and then with that I could perform out of Pune, and it was in Mumbai I could do. But I could not make it last long because a pedal had damaged during Diwali. It was a bass drum pedal, and it damaged because the components of it are very delicate and fragile. So yeah, they can break anytime. Then in March, when the regular classes resumed, Lubin sir had assigned me a djembe, so he told me to take it to me. And then at that time also we had renovated our house, and then we had added a few blinds also, so that my room could be soundproof. Then after a few months, again like in August, so in December I had completed 50 performances. Then in June 2022 I had 100. Then in August I started playing on the drums, and based on sir's recommendation to keep a drum set at home, and then we decided to be it on rent. And then I borrowed it from my coordinator colleague, Anindita Kumar. Uh, and then I also, and as I add more and more online performances, I keep select ones for the magazine. Like for example, if it's for a public day, then I choose which ones will go. And then somehow I compare drumming, particularly when I play on the djembe, with bowlers, cricket bowlers. after developing interest for that sport, because it's like you bowl fast or you pitch it up or you want to swing it. And I also play songs performed by them. And this was a balanced lineup that I got so far. And with so many experts and so many wickets and so many runs also shared between the players. Yeah, in no matter what the format is, but yeah, it is indeed true. So I would request everyone, all the musicians out there, to play songs, whatever it is. It need not be by musicians. It can be by these part timers as well. So, for example, he's been playing many songs. He's also starting more. He's expanding his bass, and he's expanding his bass, and he's expanding his. These two are expanding their bass, while others are playing instruments. Like, for example, they're playing guitar, ukulele, or any other similar instrument. So that's how it worked. And now coming to the online concert. So this was the mail I had got from Zubin sir. So it says, see the message below. We will discuss it in class. The past 2 years have been a whirlwind of change and resets. The drum class has sustained sheerly due to your commitment and enthusiasm. We have all experienced how music and drumming have helped us maintain mental alertness, sense of achievement, and connectedness during these times. Now, I will be talking of the online concert in the next part, which is the second part, where I'll be talking of music, how music is beneficial for autism, and how music is beneficial for those who have suffered during the pandemic, and then the importance of those concerts. So I'll be explaining about this. And but what I would like to mention here is we had to perform on 25th at Vineet Sir's studio, and September 18th was the rehearsal of it. To gain some confidence, you might think, what would you do ahead of your online concert? It's a new format. Then I had to do the following, because the drum set was already at my place during the time this date was announced. Then there were more dynamic songs I chose on the drums, more hand movements or more rolls or more of complicated beats. Then practice of the actual concert song, either during the timings or once outside the timings, or once even at the concert venue as well, as I said. And then I was also advised to buy a pair of bamboo drumsticks as well, because the pitch is different. It's like 19 sticks in a bundle together with a plastic this, and it's completely recyclable. Even the plastic part is recyclable. Yeah, and it's and the bamboo can also degrade in a couple of months. And then I had also got a chance to participate in those online shows organized by many organizations. So one was based in the US, the other was based in Lucknow, India. So yeah, that's where I got a chance to participate. And then with that, I also expanded my base of the magazine. So yeah, that was a wonderful idea to do. Because they created WhatsApp groups, and I told them, let's participate for the magazine. We can lift spirits of people with special needs. Then 4th of Feb, I did a podcast on inclusion with Mansi. So that's Mrs. Mansi Chandorkar ma'am. She has been doing many podcasts. So over 25 episodes of this. And in this case on 4th of Feb, we had to create awareness of the magazine and this journey. So this podcast is available on Spotify, Amazon Music, JioSaavn, Google Podcasts, and Ghana. So I think this was the 17th episode. So I'll also pop out in the description. I'll also try popping that out in the description below. And then 8th March, you would think, if you're right-handed, someday you would imagine to be left-handed. So I decided to think of proving my left-handedness, but on the djembe. And then in 20th, and then 3 months later, as Vidya Valley added another year, opportunity to add performances as a virtual group performance. So I brought my Vidya Valley Indian music teacher into the play. So that's Mrs. Aparna Dani ma'am. She continues to be a part of Vidya Valley as of today. And the first song I did was Where the Mind Was Without Fear and the Head is Held High. So this was the song written by Tagore and lyrics composed by Mrs. Aparna Dani ma'am. And for this, Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize in 1913, as it was a part of Gitanjali. And Vidya Valley students should know that this also was a part of our class 10 syllabus, and also written on the back of your notebooks, the notebooks that they would provide to us. Yeah. And Mrs. Aparna Dani ma'am also made us sing this song when we were attending a class. This was a wonderful way to learn it as well. So basically, there were so many songs I did. So over around 20 of them. Yeah, so almost 20 of them. So first three in Vidya Valley, first 3 years. Then after 10th, Classic Rock Coffee Company till the pandemic, second year. And then in second year, we had Vibrant Learning Spaces. And then in fourth year, we had Vineet Sir's studio there because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And we had to use a less band setup and strict conditions. So that's it. So that is the end of the first part. So what I'll be doing is in the second part, I will be talking of these three topics. And then if you have any questions, please post it in the comment section below so that I'll be ready to answer them. And plus, all the credit goes to all my teachers, my parents, Zubin sir, Vineet sir, and everyone, all my friends who have been a part of this wonderful journey of my 10 years of drumming. And with that, I will make it a close. I'll make a close to this wonderful recording. So with that, yeah, I'll stop the recording. So yeah, if you all have any questions, please post it in the comment section below so that I can you can feel free to ask your questions. And then yeah, I'll come back with the next part later today. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. We look forward to see you soon. And yeah, thank you.